See all this? This is prison ink. These are tattoos that I got while I was doing time down here in the state of Florida. I want to let y'all know, man, before you put something on your body for life, you better make sure it has real meaning behind it. But what would you do if you thought you put something on you that meant a lot, but then when the tables turn, you have an individual that's trying to force you to cover it up? For this video, I'm going to be talking about how an inmate got into it with his own gang brothers, and the gang brothers wanted him to be X'd out of the organization and cover up his tattoos.
Same time of the week, let it be there. Have my people send a message, make sure that it's there. Time for me to collect, bring the shit over here, cause you can tell in my face, don't make me come over there. I'll run up in your room, put my shank in your neck, swear to God I'll wet you up, better show me respect. I'm hitting licks like nothing, break bread with dogs. Putting on for Eastside, David, this K-Fraud, it's a robbery. Heard what I said, I got some names I won't say. Most of them dead, for that tunch you get, there's a price on your head. Take the shit out your locker, throw it all on my bed. You got a daughter back you up, on care what you click. 2 lockers to fit both y'all shit. See me in the cut jamming, smoking the rip, getting tatted with the money that your people are sent. See on the streets I would've bust you, but in prison I come cut you.
What's up, y'all? You already know, man. K-Fraud TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back, y'all. If this is your first time tuning in, my name's Frog, and almost everything we talk about over here is either prison or jail related, because I want people to know what to truly expect if they find themselves on the other side of that fence. I haven't posted in a couple days due to the fact that Florida just got hit with a hurricane, but storm's over with and we're back. For this one here, I'm going to be talking about how an inmate was ran down on by his own brothers, and they wanted him to cover up a tattoo that he had that represented the organization there was. Now, when you get locked up, you meet a lot of people that you think are your friends. You think they're your dogs. You think that there's no way that bond can be broken and y'all gonna ride till the wheels fall off. Well, sometimes them wheels fall off sooner than you may expect and sooner than you were planning. And I'm gonna be real. When it comes to the gangs and stuff like that, I've seen a lot of people that was in organizations that end up getting X'd out and not a gang member no more over a false accusation or over an accident. You know, they may have been, you know, on the roster to go do something and they fumbled. They didn't do it right. The person they meant to attack got away, checked in, they missed their target. Whatever it is, the next thing you know, their own gang turns on them and they are considered food, a plate to their own organization they was once repping. Now, when it comes to tattoos, you got to be sure that you're really, never ever, not even a slight possible chance, ever going to be out of that organization if it's a gang tattoo that you have. You see what I'm saying? So for this one here, this one gang member, he fell out with his organization brothers over a hit that he was supposed to do, but the individual that he went after ended up checking in and telling on a couple of their other brothers before he could get to them. So they felt like he fumbled and they wanted to X him out. Now, me, I'm going to be real with you. If I get a tattoo put on me, nobody's forcing me to cover nothing. If I cover something up, it'll be on my own. You know what I'm saying? If I cover it up, I wanted to cover it up. That's why I would never get a tattoo that anybody would have say-so on about trying to make me cover up. You feel me? Because just because I'll defend myself, stick up for myself, and I'm willing to rock with or without a knife, whatever it is, however it goes down, doesn't mean that I'd willingly want to put myself in that type of situation. You get what I'm saying? Why would I get a gang tattoo just because I know I'm going to rock when it's just going to bring more problems? Because there's going to be somebody that's going to try to make you cover your tattoos. That's going to come at you, and whether they ask you or they come at you with force, violent force. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I would never want to put myself in that predicament, no matter how down we are, whether we shake up, we've been gang members for however long, I would never drop that on me because I don't want to be put in a bad spot later on down the line. Not everything lasts forever, okay? Now, when they came at this inmate about covering his tattoos, I thought he was going to buck the jack, which means I thought he was going to make him cover it. You get what I'm saying? So when I first found out about it, my cell phone had got slayed, which means knocked off by the guards. The guards found one of my phones. So I actually went into a cell to get on someone else's phone so I could put in an order, you know what I'm saying? But boom, get some more phones dropped and stuff like that. So when I went in this room, I realized there was 4 individuals in there. 3 standing up talking, 1 laying there getting tatted. I didn't think too much of it. This just happened to be the cell that had the best reception at the time in the dorm. So it was easy to go in there and, you know, get through to your family instead of trying to get, you know, a couple bars and find a signal. So when I go in there and I'm using the jack and everything, since I see them all talking and kikiing and laughing and hanging out, I seen them together before. I off rip felt like Buddy was just getting a new tattoo. But in reality, he was actually covering his tattoo. So as I'm sitting in there, you know, I knew them. It wasn't like I was low-key eavesdropping. I'm in there talking with them boys and vibing, you know, the vibe's straight, you feel me? And when I'm figuring out that he's finally getting a tattoo covered up, that they're not gonna kill him, they're not gonna stab him up or X him out. They just want him to remove their organization off of his skin because he's no longer gonna be repping their gang. You feel me? And when I realized that they're friendly about it, that was a major red flag in my eyes. Because I'm looking at it like it's disrespectful for someone to even consider you to cover a tattoo. So him covering it makes him pie in my eyes, like you soft. You feel me? And then them not attacking him and them not harming him and them hanging out with him still after he was, you know, considered a bad, you know, brother, made them look soft too at the same time. But what I meant by red flag is it just didn't feel right. I felt like, what's the point of him getting that tattoo covered up? They're probably gonna eat him anyways. That's how grimy and that's how it goes up the road. You gotta know these things. It isn't like you do this, you're in the clear. They want you to think that. You do that and they'll probably still get at you. You feel me? But they were literally making it seem like they weren't gonna get at him. And he was sitting there getting it covered up right here across his chest as if it didn't bother him that he was getting it covered up. He didn't feel disrespected or tried by these individuals. So it didn't really sit right with me, you know. And I heard one of the dudes standing up tell him, you know, this is the easiest, you know, the best solution out of the whole problem. Because if you do this with no problem, you know, you're still allowed to live here. We're not going to get at you. We're not going to harm you. No one's going to get stabbed. Nobody's going to get hurt. You feel me? And it doesn't mess up the business we got going on. You feel me? And the dude getting tatted was like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, that's why I'm just like, you know, it is what it is. Everybody makes mistakes. Fuck it, I'll get it covered up, you know, and we can all still continue to make our money and ain't got to worry about, you know, getting the whole empire, you know, knocked down just because we get caught up on some bullshit inside beef amongst each other. So I'm thinking like, all right, you know, that was a good plan. But in reality, is it really going to go like that? Is Buddy really going to, you know, allow them to cover the tattoo without a consequence going towards them? Or are they really going to allow him to still live there on that compound without getting at him? That's where the red flag kicked into my mind, and I swore something was off. And just like I thought, even though he got that tattoo removed, well, covered, we should say, they still had it in their mind that they're going to attack him. They're going to stab him up. They're going to get him off the compound. But it wasn't like they were the only one. He voluntarily laid down and was getting the tattoo covered up, but he also wasn't getting the tattoo covered up for nothing. He was going to get it covered to make them think shit was sweet, and he was going to try to attack them and catch the most dangerous ones off guard when they least expected. So literally, it was like they didn't even let it make next call out. Like, we weren't even able to walk to like the rec yard. It was like as soon as he was done with the tattoo, they walked out of the room. He walked out of the room, went to where he was going. And I remember I was on the phone. Rest in peace to my mom. I was talking to my mom on the phone. And when I peeped, I was like, them boys were just talking a lot here. But then as soon as that door opened, them boys like, and I peeped. I seen them over there whispering. I seen him over there strapping up his shoes. So I'm thinking like, you know, like maybe he's thinking maybe they might do something. Or maybe they're thinking maybe he might do something. In all reality, it was a win-win and a lose-lose situation because they got his tattoo covered up. You get what I'm saying? And when it came down for them boys to get into it, what happened is he went to walk by, and when he went to walk by, he went after one of the dudes out of the three that were in there. And the one he went after was the one who had a knife. The other two didn't have a knife. So the other two ran to grab their bangers as he attacked this one dude with a knife. It was a one-on-one standoff with a knife. And these dudes are running around by the stairs chasing each other. Like literally chasing each other around the stairs, swinging in between the steps, like trying to get each other and harm each other. He's trying to stab him because he messed up and he had to cover his tattoo, but that wasn't enough. They wanted to harm him. And he's trying to stab him because he had to cover his tattoo, you know, and he felt like they tried him, you know, so it was like back and forth. So you got these two gang members that are once brothers trying to harm each other. The other two dudes go grab their knives and then they jump in. And now when they jump in, you got 3-on-1 with knives. And now when there's 3-on-1 with knives, no matter how gangster you are or how much you're willing to rock, you got to be ready to get hurt because the chances and the odds are against you to get hurt. You feel me? So just like I thought, when he was fighting one, tried to hit like that, he tried to back up, started swinging on another one. He was trying to keep them away from him. Man, they got in on top of him, and when they got him, and they hit that boy so many times to where his body just dropped eventually. I thought he was dead. I thought they literally killed him. You know, he straight hit the deck and wasn't even resisting now when they went to hit him a couple more times. Who knows? Maybe he did die. I don't know. We never seen him again after that. But I did see him hit the deck and he looked lifeless. You get what I'm saying? And this was the dude who covered his tattoo. You feel me? All because of the situation where the guy checked in and told on some other brothers before he got to them like they ordered him to do. You see? But through it all, they got him. Even though he covered the tattoo, they got him. So my whole thing is, you might as well stand on business and not cover the tattoo because they're going to get you regardless. You see what I'm saying? So you might as well stand for what you believe in and take it to the door. Let them know, regardless what you thinking, I'm renegade. You know what I'm saying? I run this shit, bro. I'm renegade. You feel me? I do this shit dolo. You know what I'm saying? With or without y'all boys. I bang this shit. I rep this shit. And you might as well rock and take it all the way. Because them boys are going to try to eat you regardless. And I knew that. Because it was just iffy in that cell. You know what I'm saying? When I seen how they were talking and acting when he was getting the tattoo covered. You know, and you see these type of things happen all the time inside of prison. If you've been locked up before and you've seen somebody get forced to cover their tat, talk about it in the comment section. Because it don't just happen down here. I've seen people stand up for themselves and refuse it. And I've also seen people bow down and get it covered. But one thing I will tell you, whether they refuse it or they get it covered, they're still going to be get at by the other people. The other people are still going to get at them and try to stab them and try to kill them. Some succeed, some don't. Some stab them, some beat them up, whatever it is, they're still gonna get got at. So it's like, you might as well, if you know you fumbled on a humbum, which was an accident, you might as well rock. Think about it. You put in 15, 20 years into this gang. You've been repping this shit. Probably stabbed more people than the people that are telling you to cover it, you know? And then here you had a mistake, you messed up. As long as it ain't no snitching or sleeping with boys or anything out of the ordinary or sex charges or anything like that, you deserve whatever's coming if you know that's the case. But if it's just a simple mistake, you flopped, you fumbled or whatever it is, who are them people to tell you you ain't certified, that you're no longer one of them when you put in more time and more, you know, you've been on that battlefield and you did way more than they ever have. So you might as well stand up and rep that tattoo because it's a part of you now. You put so many years into it, you're just going to cover it up for somebody? Think about it. That's how I look at it. So at the end of the day, I feel like you might as well rock. You might as well, if they're going to stab you, make them stab. You might as well be one of them ones that refuse to cover it and make them stab you. Because when you cover it easily or not, they're going to try to stab you regardless. And I don't know if the dude getting tatted expected it or if he was just playing dumb in order to lure them in to make them think he was really cool with covering it. But through it all, they ended up getting him regardless, even though he covered the tattoo. You see, these are the type of things you see in prison all the time. That's why it's very important and very serious to know what you're getting tattooed on you. See, a lot of people get a bunch of tattoos and shit before they even go to prison. So when you go up the road, you might have something tattooed on you that means something in your neighborhood. You get what I'm saying? And then when you go up the road, gang members see it and think it means something else. So then you're being falsely accused of what you have tatted. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be very aware of what it is you get tatted. And then you got people who go to prison, since tattoos are so cheap, they just get fully wet and get all types of shit on them. So before you know it, you land at the wrong institution and people are going to think you're a gang member. You feel me? You can literally get a number on you that isn't a gang number. You get what I'm saying? You could get a number 1. Let's say you get a 1 on you, a little number 1, right? Or a 0, a 1 or a 0, just anywhere. You get a 1 on you because you're from 1st Street or you're from 1st Ave, 1st Court. You know, whatever it is why you get it, which is a street tattoo, who knows? And then next thing you know, there isn't no gang where you're at that's called the 1s or the 0s or whatever. But then say 20 years from now, all of a sudden there's a new gang and they're called that. It don't matter if you had that tattoo before they made that organization. They're going to come at you because you got a gang on them. You feel me? That's why it's very important to know what you get tatted. Don't make it to where you can get something tatted that somebody can just trademark later on and turn into something, because now it looks like you're false claiming. And false claiming people get ate. They become deer meat. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And if you're somebody that was a gang member and then you got it tatted on you and then now you're not that gang no more, you feel me? You're going to be considered set tripping. You feel me? 1090. You know, that's what set tripping is, 1090. Then they're going to, you know, they're going to feel like you're false claiming they shit, you know, and now you're set tripping. You're not certified. And the next thing you know, they're going to come after you and try to, that's what it is. You feel me? When you're set tripping, you're considered 1090. That's what the code stands for set tripping. You feel me? So you got to be aware of what you're doing. I know tattoos are cheap in prison. Everybody wants to get them. Consequences come with, you know, tattoos. Whether you want them like that or not, but that is how it goes. You see what I'm saying? And unfortunate for the dude who got the shit covered up, he still got dealt with. You see? But I would have, you know, if I was him, I would have never laid down and got tatted. Or I would have got them boys while we were in the room, while we were in the cell. Think about it. You're in there letting them boys hang out with you while you're getting tatted. They're laughing, kikiing. You can see that them boys ain't got bangers on them right now. That only one of them's got a banger on them. You could see what it is. You know, you could literally get up, even though he probably didn't have his knife on him at the time, but still, you could have got up real quick and been like, oh, let me go get my ointment, or let me go get my hemorrhoids cream, which is what they usually rub on fresh tattoos, you know, real quick. Or let me go in here and get my headphones. And you could have grabbed a banger, came back in there, laid down to get tatted, and then when the dude who has a knife walked out of the room, you could have got up real quick and be like, oh, this shit's biting. Hold on. Let's take a break real quick. This shit biting. It hurting. It's hurting. Then you could have walked near the door and closed yourself in there with them two boys that ain't got no knife and just took it out on them boys. You feel me? If you were willing to rock it, if that's what you're willing to do. Because through it all, when he did that, trying to attack the first guy, and then they came with their knives, did what they did, everything that they wanted to stop from happening, happened. They all got shipped. They all lost everything they had going on, all the money plays. And since it was brother on brother, that the gang sergeant and all the officers knew that these inmates both were part of the same gang once upon a time, they started shipping other members of that gang for no reason, just to get them off the pound, because they couldn't trust them from getting, you know, onto their own kind or getting attacked by other gangs, because other gangs will see this gang's vulnerable now because they're beefing amongst themselves. So now they'll pile up and try to tag team them. It's like a dog eat dog world, you know what I'm saying? It's like food chain. It's like you see this gang right here is beefing back and forth with their own gang. So then another gang will try to team up and try to wipe them off the pound, lower their numbers. You get what I'm saying? So now not only are they considered a threat because they're stabbing their own brothers, makes them a real severe threat to the guards, but they can also be potentially in danger by other gangs. You see what I'm saying? So now they're shipping them all around, moving everything around. Their whole enterprise just hit the ground all over this situation. You feel me? Which they swore they were trying to avoid. But like I said, you get what you deserve when you decide to put yourself in that situation. Not saying that you can't get put in a wrong situation due to a mistake. You can. But I tell you what, whether it was a mistake of what happened while they wanted to X him out, it wasn't a mistake of him getting that tattoo. He knew what he was doing when he dropped that ink on him. So he got what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're somebody that's been locked up and you've went through this, or you've had to tell someone to cover a tattoo, or someone's ever tried to make you cover the tattoo, drop it in the comment section, man. Let people know what to expect. Let them know it don't just happen down here. You feel me? But anyways, y'all let me know y'all's opinion. Would y'all covered it? I wanted to cover it. Be 100 with y'all. I definitely wasn't covering my tattoo. They were going to try to stab me regardless. I probably would have got stabbed when they first brought it to my attention. When they first mentioned it to me, I probably would have got stabbed. I would have felt disrespected and took flight on whoever brought it to my attention right then and there. You know, that's just me though. But that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all stay safe. All this weather, everything that's going on, don't know where it's going next, but it just left Florida. Y'all already know, man, like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, and clout chasers out your circle. And until next time, this the one and only. I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though.
I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though, cause I'm a criminal, yeah, I'm a criminal.